Hey guys, it's Willie from SmartPath. Hope you're having a great Thursday. I wanted to get in front of you, record a video about a pretty serious security incident took place over the past weekend, so the July 4th weekend. Not directly impacting SmartPath, nor directly impacting you, luckily, but something that has honestly made me lose sleep and made my folks here at SmartPath lose sleep over the past week or so. It's not something that I ever like to do. And you may have heard about this in the news. It's called the largest ransomware attack in history. So the largest ransomware attack in history last Friday, July 2nd at around 2:30 in the afternoon, businesses all over the world, but in the United States and even in the state of Kentucky, began noticing just some odd things going on with their computers. And ultimately, what has happened or what had happened is that Russian actors from an organization called Rebel, which is a criminal organization that wants to steal your data, not let you have it back unless you pay them several $1,000s and then give you your data back. That's kind of their business model. They had been deploying this ransomware to small businesses, and they were using a piece of software called Kaseya to do it. Kaseya is used by companies like SmartPath, IT consultants, IT providers, to provide management to their clients. And ultimately, these threat actors, these hackers, have demanded $70 million to give everybody their data back. So I wanted to dive into that a little bit about why this specifically is making us lose sleep so much. So what and who is Kaseya? First of all, we don't use Kaseya at SmartPath. Our clients aren't affected, but we do use software that's very similar to Kaseya. It's a piece of software that lets companies like ours manage computers for small businesses like yours. Lets IT departments manage computers for their campuses and their organizations. And the majority of Kaseya clients are really small IT companies like SmartPath serving small businesses with under 50 employees like yours. You know, if you think about it, if we manage 1,000 computers and making sure that they're always running, making sure that they're always updated, they have the latest Microsoft security updates, well, we don't have 1,000 gerbils, who run around and can do all of that stuff on a manual basis. We use systems and automation and processes and monitoring, all of that kind of thing to make that happen. And the same systems that we use to make sure that your stuff is running is kind of what got impacted. It was simply just a different product. This was determined to be what's called a supply chain attack. So a supply chain attack essentially means that the company, the software company, in this case, Kaseya, had a vendor who had a vulnerability. That vulnerability from Kaseya's business vendor was used as a foothold into the Kaseya platform, into the Kaseya software. And then the Kaseya software was leveraged to launch these ransomware attacks against businesses who normally would have Kaseya to help manage their IT environment. Last Friday, businesses who have Kaseya agents installed on their computers to help manage them started getting weird notices. Some of them did, looks like this, your computer's been infected. Kaseya did immediately recognize the issue. They shut down all their systems. 6 days later, which is still today, their systems are still shut down. That's pretty unheard of for a software company, a software as a service company, but they are taking it very seriously. The FBI and CISA immediately became involved. So CISA is the cyber intelligence arm of the Department of Homeland Security, the cybersecurity arm of the Department of Homeland Security. They determined it to be a supply chain attack from an upstream vendor of Kaseya's, and they determined that it had been perpetrated by the Rebel organization of Russia, which that's their business, is to steal people's data, demand money, and then give it back, or don't give it back if they don't pay the money. So the FBI and CISA immediately got involved. But unfortunately, a lot of IT providers' clients, clients that could have been SmartPath's clients, for example, did end up losing their data and having all of their systems encrypted. That's why we're losing sleep about it. The attackers did post a blog article this past Monday that said, hey, we launched an attack on IT providers, managed service providers. More than 1 million systems were infected. Anybody wants to negotiate about a universal decryptor, our price is $70 million Bitcoin, and we'll publish a public decryptor to decrypt all of the files. So they're asking for $70 million. We understand They're asking for about $45,000 for an individual computer, $70 million to decrypt everybody's data. That is the outcome of what was a successful attack. It's very scary to us because we use software very similar to this. I like being in control of most things in my life, and this is something that I can't control. And you, being my client, your data and your systems are frankly things that I will lose sleep over. And when we can't necessarily control something like a supply chain attack to one of our vendors that then works through us to impact you, that's really a scary position to be in, and not a position that we're particularly fond of being in for sure. So I did want to kind of tell you and reassure you about security steps we currently take. So access to our tools like Kaseya are restricted to only being able to be accessed within our office. If our engineers are working after hours, they have to connect to our tools using a VPN and then through our office. SmartPath uses two-factor authentication on any piece of software that we use to manage your all's environments, manage your networks. We also require two-factor authentication to even log in to one of the computers that we own, the computer in our office, something that we're going to be rolling out to a lot of our clients in the very near future. All of these systems that we use to manage your environment, they keep pretty comprehensive audit logs. We review those on a regular basis. Internal and external penetration testing, so a third party looks at our computers, at our network, as well as at our internet-facing network and the systems that we use to service our clients, and they see, are they vulnerable? We do this on a regular basis. We're going to start recommending that our clients do penetration testing as well on a regular basis. Our staff kind of goes through security awareness training every single day. We have lots of calls. Hey, is this email safe? Does this link look right to click on? Please, we love that. Call us. Don't just click on it. Don't try to guess yourself. That's why you pay us. But in addition to all of that we see on a daily basis, our people do go through ongoing security awareness training. SmartPath also utilizes a third-party cybersecurity consulting firm, Galactic Advisors. Galactic Advisors is based out of Nashville. They provide consulting services to us on a regular, ongoing basis regarding the overall security of our operations, the security of our support services that we carry out, and the security of our internal network and our clients' internal networks. These are just a few of the steps that we take, but I just want you all to know that we do take security in these incidents more seriously than you probably realize. We've always taken a layered approach to security. We don't have one large tank with a nuclear bomb at the door. We have smaller artillery tanks, staged around the property, if you will. Multiple layers of security have traditionally proven to be the best and most effective way of overall organizational security. So firewall at the perimeter of the internet connection, antivirus software, email filtering and spam protection, DNS filtering, two-factor authentication, like I said, having security operations center monitor logs and those audit logs, coordination with local FBI and CISA officials. So in these ransomware attacks, the FBI, the CISA, these 3- and 4-letter agencies, they do want to be involved. We're coordinating with our local officials so that we have a good working relationship with them. And if your business is ever unfortunately the victim of one of these attacks, it's very likely that one of these agencies will probably be involved if that goes on. We see a move towards a zero trust environment. Lots of people are not fond of a zero trust environment. A zero trust environment means that computers in your organization do nothing and absolutely nothing other than what has been defined to be trusted. If a user only needs to access a browser with one tab and Word, that's all they can access. They can't open Excel, they can't download something, they can't change their wallpaper, they can't install a printer, they can do nothing except what's defined to be trusted. Limits functionality, requires a lot of planning, but it's secure. And folks, I recorded this just to inform you. I'm telling you, I don't want to sell you anything. What I am going to tell you, I tell you this from the bottom of my heart, is that your security spending is going to increase. There is no two ways about it. You can expect security spending to increase over the next 12 to 24 months in your organization. I guess in the mid 80s, early 90s, we had burglar alarms. Everybody started getting burglar alarms for their homes, that kind of thing. Security's changed, and unfortunately, dollars and more dollars than in the past are going to have to be expended, towards security. But that's just the way that it is. But I am telling you, just be expecting you're going to be spending more money on security. One of the most famous hackers of all time, Kevin Mitnick, had a great quote, and this really is a very crappy, scary attitude to have, but it's the most offensive attitude to have in the current environment in which we live. And his quote was, with technology having evolved into what we all use post-pandemic, it's no longer a question if your business is going to suffer a security event. It's a question of when your business is going to suffer that security event. We don't want security events to happen. I know that you all don't want security events to happen. The Kaseya thing is really scary, folks, because it's out of the control of the IT company. It's out of the control of the end user, you all of the IT company. It's coming from up above even that. So what can SmartPath do? What can you do? When it comes from the supply chain, there's not a lot. What we can do is make sure that there are systems in place to try and best prevent it, make sure that you have good backups to restore from in the event that there is a ransomware incident, and just be vigilant, be proactive. We're being very proactive, and you all need to be too. I wanted to get with you, bring this to you, and get you a little up to date on it, let you know that we do see it, we are out in front of it, but let you know that it is very real, very scary. And SmartPath, you all as a business yourself, you really do have to kind of take the approach of not if it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen, what am I going to do? And those are the things we're thinking about. Appreciate your time. Have a great rest of the day.